Welcome to our first week of Google Classroom activities. If you don't know me by now, I'm Coach T. What I thought we would do, or that we would work on together, is that we would start off where we left off before the spring break / corona quarantine. We had just finished the test on Age of Jackson, Era of Good Feelings, Age of Jackson, and then Industrial Revolution. And yes, if those of you that have been keeping up with me, I probably made a couple of videos a little too early because I was just dying to talk some history. And right now, into the third week or whatever we're at right now, into the third week, I'm even reaching out to some students that I might be bothering too much about talking history. But what we're going to do is, we first got to make sure we take care of proper hygiene before we get to start on activity. What I thought we would pick it up at was where I talked about in my last video, and that maybe 3 of you had seen, okay, and kind of help you along with what it was called the Age of Reform. The Age of Reform was, and I'm trying not to do a lot of teaching because you're going to be learning things along the way, and during my office hours on Tuesday and Thursday, I will help you along. But after the Industrial Revolution, where we saw this overcrowding in cities and a boom and a belt in the South with the cotton gin and so forth, there was a need to make changes in society. There were some people like transcendentalists that were seeing that we need to maybe become more self-reliant. One of Coach T's, kind of maybe rules, find a way, persevere, and not be dependent upon technology. Yet we are very dependent upon technology right now. But so it has some goods. It has some good positive things. All that Deadpool and Fortnite and all that. And Netflix with whatever that show is right now, Line something. But anyway, what we are going to do is we are going to create a tool where you will show me your learning throughout the week. We have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I get it. There's a holiday on Friday, so try to maybe put your work in on Thursday night or kind of pace yourself. But I thought we could make a tool that would not take forever, and it would be an artifact that you would prove to me that you have done the work, and then maybe have a short little assessment. Like you've seen in Coach T's class, my model is fairly easy. We acquire background knowledge, we practice that knowledge that is acquired, and then we assess that knowledge at the end. So for the Age of Reform, where there are many people trying to fix the ills in society, there are 5 major reform movements of the 1800s we need to know. And they are temperance, prison, common school or education, abolition, and then women's rights. So what I will do is I will kind of like lower the camera down here in a little bit, and I will show you how to make the mini flip chart. You've probably seen gigantic flip charts in classrooms and stuff like that, but again, we're going to make a more compact one. So before we start work, we got to get all our supplies out, like Coach T has his, and got to get in there and maybe buy some more supplies. I guess that's what happens when glue explodes. I'll show the kids that. They like that. Always got to have our red pen that y'all stolen from me, okay? Got my skizzers and all that kind of stuff, and pencil. I kind of like the Star Wars one better, but anyway, okay. What we're gonna need is maybe some colored markers or something like that. But the first thing in the creation of the foldable, and here we go, I'm gonna move you down a little bit, is that we need to create a flip chart. So first of all, if you are worried about not having these supplies right here, that's okay. We will find a way, okay? You in the Google Classroom can make a Google slide that has all the components of the project, and you will see also in the WAG and the descriptions of what you do on each day that the components that are required for the project, and I'll end that off there at the end here when I put this thing together. But if persevere, find a way. If you don't have 3 sheets of paper, you can even use 3 lined sheets of paper, from your notebook or whatever, okay? I only had white and yellow, and I used the yellow here in the middle as divider. But you can go into Google Classroom and make a PowerPoint. You can make a PowerPoint, and I've actually gotten one from the Facebook project that we did on the WAG that was unbelievable. And I'm going to share that somehow with y'all to show you that learning was happening during the week when we weren't in Google Classroom. So you can make that. You can take pictures. I mean, just anything short of not sending me a link to a website, that I can access myself. We gotta try to be a little original. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take 3 sheets of paper, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line them on top of each other, where these tabs, when I look at them, and we're gonna have to make adjustments, okay? These tabs are all fairly equal distance, okay? So, Coach T is maybe a little borderline, a little too insane when it comes to measuring it, but just rough. You don't need to pull out a ruler, if you've got one or whatever, but we'll take these 3 sheets, and then what we'll do is we'll fold them over like so, and you can already tell that this is bothering me over here because it's sticking out a little bit more, so I'll make adjustments. And then what we got to make sure is not to fold these 3 papers right here over the tab that is already created. We're going to lay it to make them equal distance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I am fairly happy with that. Okay. There's a couple of maybe adjustments that I can make here and there, like sliding it in, making it equal. I know I got some students that'll do that too. I am happy with that. Then I press down right there. Okay. I will turn it over. I will get my stapler. Okay. 2 staples. Okay. Those of you that don't mind, maybe a 3rd staple in there. We had that conversation earlier in the year. Okay. Now I have made myself a mini flip chart. And one of the key points about a flip chart is that you kind of make it from order of not as important to more important. So, if you're putting something together and there's something you can do quicker, you put it more on top, and then on the bottom. Okay, the more important goes on the bottom. Now, I've been at this long enough, and I think I forgot I did not come to class prepared. Okay, I forgot my ruler. But you know what? Coach T has been at it long enough that he doesn't need a ruler. What a good thing to do is you can use this the paper as an edge to kind of, and this will come in handy here in a little bit, to kind of draw some lines across to make sure that you don't write into the tab. Okay? See how Coach T made like a little tab right there? Like this is the tab, and here's a place to write. So what we're going to do is, and again, you will make this a lot prettier than I will, okay? And I'll just use a single color one over here. What we're going to do is, I'll turn more sideways so you can see. Golly, look at that. Man, look at that. Okay? All right. We're going to use this top flap as our title. So put something on there like the 1800s reform movements. Okay? Then that tells you nothing goes in here. That's why we want to keep this top flap a lot smaller than the other ones. Okay? A lot smaller. Then here on the bottom, okay, I will go ahead and put, okay, my name. Yes, my name is Coach T. Okay. And then we can do the whole name, date, and period over here. Name, date, period, stuff like that. Just to kind of tell you that there's nothing going on here because this is all we will use. So the 5 movements I told you were prison, temperance, and then common school, and then here, we're gonna have some debating here. I said least to most important. It's how you look at the history. You put women's rights on top, or you put abolition on the bottom. Okay. If you go in the chronology and cause and effect of history, you probably want to say abolition here, right? And then put women's rights over here. And you'll understand what I mean when I talk about like why women's rights kind of comes after abolition, even though some of the greatest crusaders for abolition were women. But they will learn something about their condition as they are trying to fight to end whatever this movement is about. But again, I'm trying not to give you too much. So what we have done now is we have made the foldable. You will all make it look a lot prettier Boys, you will probably have yours looking something like Coach T's. Okay. Ladies will, do that side coloring thing, make it look pretty. Okay. But what we're going to do is when we flip the chart, okay, and Coach T can already see that probably one of the bad things to not have done was to use a thick Sharpie. But okay, we live and learn. But that's not really the end, because you're actually going to do something on this top flap that is required in the project. So I give a little crease. Okay, so do you now see how prison and temperance will be under this slide? And I drew that line to make sure that I don't write any facts over here. I'll do the same thing for common school, abolition, women's rights, and then I go research. I start off with prison and temperance, and I told you that I need 5 facts total. So I'm going to put over here 1, 2, 3, and look, I can divide the flip chart in half and go 4 and 5. Okay, so as you can see over here, I have 1, 2, 3 for prison and 4 and 5 for temperance. I may have even said, in the instructions to go 1, 2 for prison. So that's why it's always good to do in pencil, and I made that mistake on purpose to show you how to fix it and to use an eraser. You go 1, 2, and then 3, 4. Man, there's great planning to show you how to use the eraser and all that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there we go. So what you will do is you will research using either the background knowledge paper that I gave you, or Google, or websites, or books at home, or whatever. And what your purpose is you need to become an expert on why this movement had to happen, why did they have to fix it, and who were some of the crusaders, and what did they accomplish. So a crusader is somebody who is a reformer, a person that was trying to fix it. So yes, you might put like the famous crusader for prison was la 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 la, right? But then every movement requires a minimum, and this is all minimums, okay? This is all just minimums, okay? You have to put at least one visual next to each fact. So if you find out maybe a cool political cartoon about temperance, what you can do is you write that fact about here, and then right up here, you can glue the picture. And then you must put underneath it, see fact 3. So you don't just glue something on there and go, well, okay, and I'm done. You got to tie it into a fact so that you can see through it. So, or connect a fact to it. So here we have the foldable. I believe in the instructions, the other ones, we start going 5 on common school just by itself, abolition 5, 5. Please, there's so much on women's rights and abolition. I would think that 5 is just a bare minimum. You could add more, okay? So that's the minimum that I'm looking for, okay? Then, when you are done, you can take a picture of it, take some pictures, maybe even, you know what might even be better? Upload a video on there where you kind of show the video instead of taking 5 separate pictures of everything like that, okay? This right here will be a tool, okay, that you will be able to use throughout the week as you learn about the movements. And then at the end, when you share this product or artifact with me, you will then take a quizzes assessment to see how much you learned on your own. Again, let's not freak out about grades. Let's just, be excited about the process, and then learn about the movements and see what else what you've learned by yourself. Okay? So, I have office hours on Tuesday and Thursday, 10 and 3. I will send out all those codes again, okay? And that is a time, instead of playing video trivia or talking about twinkle toes, we will, focus on these reform movements and questions that you might have, okay? Hopefully that works out. Hopefully you have fun with it. And again, even though I have office hours, you can reach me at any time through Remind, okay? Or email, okay? Alrighty, I miss y'all, and see you soon. Bye.